Lorwyn Eclipsed is here. We got all the spoilers on the official Magic the Gathering Wizards site. So we're not going to look at any cards that are leaked. We're going to only look at the cards that are officially spoiled. And we're going to start off with Personify. We got to give some personality to those Changeling cards. This is a 2-mana instant. Exile target creature you control. Then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. Create a 1/1 colorless shapeshifter creature token with Changeling. It's every creature type. So this card, in general, is going to be very good if you're blinking something that cares about ETBs. So like if a creature enters the battlefield, if another creature enters the battlefield, it's going to get a little bit of a bonus. I can see like a lot of humans doing something like that. Like Thalia's Lieutenant, for example, when you blink it, it would just give all other humans a +1/+1 counter when it enters the battlefield. Magnus Opus is like, bring on the elementals. I mean, for everyone, I'm sure Merfolk players are looking at this card. The humans players, the soldier players, maybe some goblin players. Any Boros goblin players out there? Anyone can give a really good excuse to splash white in order to blink their card and also get another body. Now, the downside to this is it's 2 mana. Now, blinking your stuff for 1 mana, that's great. Blinking your stuff for free, that's great. Blinking your stuff for 2 mana, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Usually when you blink for 2, you want to blink for all. Like, I wouldn't say call it like, Teferi's Protection blink, but you phase everything out. So anyway, I think it's a pretty cute card, and it's going to be interesting to see how people can develop with this. Instant, not sorcery, is the big thing over other standard cards. Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, blink cards that are sorcery speed are just worthless. So it's not even a debate. It's just worthless junk. Because if you have to play at sorcery speed, then you're open to removal from your opponent. You're going to get 2 for 1. This is the opposite. If someone tries to point a removal spell at your creature, well, I'm sorry. I got a response. I got Personify. Put a little personality in my creature all over again. So yeah, it's a pretty cool, pretty cute card. Does seem expensive for a 1/1 even at instant speed. Yeah, I mean, probably if you're like a blink deck, this probably goes better in Commander where you have 99 cards and you might need you don't have enough blink effects. You only get 1 of each card, so Personify might be able to squeeze in there pretty well. Okay, next, let's take a look at another card. Let's look at Bryce's Hexing Squelcher. This is... what am I doing here? Oh, hold on. It's not quite my usual setup here. Okay, Hexing Squelcher is a 2-mana 2/2 goblin sorcerer. The spell can't be countered, and it's got Ward, pay 2 life. Spells you control also can't be countered, and other creatures you control have Ward, pay 2 life. That, I actually think this is super powerful. Oh my god! Okay, so this card basically has Cavern of Souls attached to it. I didn't know Sorcerer is a creature type. Since when was Sorcerer a creature type? Is that like analogous? Is that like a wizard? Okay, you're not a wizard, you're a sorcerer. And someone please explain to me what's the difference between a wizard and a sorcerer. When frankly, I think everything is a wizard. Everything is like a subdivision of a wizard. Yeah, Ghost Thomas Jenks is like, did Red really need this? You're 100% right. Now, how the hell do I counter someone's lightning bolt when now it can't be countered thanks to this guy? This could go in aggro strategies. It's got Ward, pay 2 life. So, I mean, even if the opponent kills it, it's almost like an Eidolon of the Great Revel. You're going to take 2 damage to the face, and there's nothing you can do about it. Other creatures you control also have Ward, pay 2 life. I think this is a very, very strong card. Yeah, the rent is real. I don't have enough money to buy this. We don't even know what it costs yet. Don't worry, wait like 2 months. The price will probably collapse to nothing. This is gonna be a well-loved set, everyone. This is gonna be everyone's gonna be cracking open tons of boxes of this thing. I have no doubt the Hexing Squelcher, as good as it is, it's gonna be like $1 in the end of all this. It's probably maybe Modern Goblins is gonna play this. Could actually work out in Burn. Could work out in Burn in multiple formats, maybe even including standard at the same time. Okay, we got Prime Arc Lorgar says, I think Sorcerer replaces Shaman. Oh, but I don't really feel like Sorcerer and Shaman are the same thing. Well, maybe. I mean, a Shaman obviously is like someone who is magical. So is Sorcerer. Okay, maybe they said they use Shaman less, and maybe they threw it right into the garbage. Rose Kitty says, yeah, set looks great. I just hope it gets sold well. Oh my god, it's gonna sell out like crazy. Come on, we gotta sell. We need to all buy a box of Lorwyn Eclipsed just to show Wizards what we're gonna support, and then we gotta stop buying the Universes Beyond stuff so that we can just get these types of cards on a more regular basis. What's a goon to a goblin? Was that in the flavor text? Finally, a place where the ingredients are as potent as my magics. Okay. Okay. Anyway, card is pretty cool. It's pretty sick. It's going to be very good. I mean, it can be good in more than just goblin decks. And you know what? It's funny. The goblins, they were already pretty uncounterable. They played Aether Vial. They played Cavernous Souls. Now they have Hexing Squelcher to make even more stuff uncounterable. Make that goblin grenade just deal infinite damage. There was no resistance, only pain. So Bakaltima says, okay, well, I'm buying like 2 boxes, 1 collector and 1 normal. Good God. Good luck with the collector box, that's for sure. The Squelcher is mono red food. Oh, definitely too. Like, yeah, I mean, we don't know where the best place this is going to be, the Hexing Squelcher, but it's actually... It looks really good. And they got an alternate art here. Look at that beautiful alternate art. Another Hexing Squelcher. They're bringing the magic back to MTG, people. They're bringing the magic back to Magic the Gathering. Magic the Gathering cards are going to feel like Magic the Gathering cards again. Okay, let's take a look at another card. I want to look at Bitter Blossom now. We can look at those later. I mean, Bitter Blossom is a card that we already... almost everybody knows about. Christopher B says, are Fighter and Paladin now the only D&D classes not represented on the type line? Maybe that's true. Not really a D&D person. Pacers fan forever, thanks for the super chats. Oko, Lorwyn Liege. They brought Oko back. There's our... the Liege. Is this a situation where they're like, you know what? Oko actually came from Lorwyn and was the big boss of the entire place the entire time? Hold on, what was it? Oh, okay, I gotta be down here. Okay, Oko is a 3 mana, 3 loyalty. Really, Wizards? We playing with fire with the 3 mana planeswalkers again? With Oko, of all things? Oko? Oh, was he always from Lorwyn? Or is that exactly what the... I can't tell if that was always the story or they just made it up at this point. Oh, yes, except he ran away from there. So he ran away to another plane that sort of looked familiar like his own. And now he's back. Guess what, everybody? I'm back. I'm legendary. At the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay a green. And if you do, you get to transform Oko. +2, up to 1 target creature gains all creature types. This effect doesn't end. And +1, target creature gets -2, -0 until end of turn. I would say the +2 stinks. It's not very aggressive. In fact, I find it's actually quite pointless. The +1 is like, okay. So this is clearly a lot worse. What is the other side of this thing? Oh, here we go. So the other side, if we get to live to see another day, is Oko Shadow Moor Scion. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a blue if you do transform Oko. I don't think so. I think I'd probably like to sit on this side. Oh, it's all -1s. Was the other side +1s? So one side is all +1s. That's quite flavorful, actually. And the other side, you spend time on one side to build the loyalty. Spend time on the other side spending it. At the beginning, so a -1, mill 3 cards. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. That's good value. -3, create 2 3/3 green elk creature tokens. That's strong. That's very strong. But but it doesn't interact with the board. So that might be fine, but that's very strong. So like basically turn 1 we play our Oko, we tick up, and then next turn we can just flip it and make 2 3/3s. I think that's still pretty dangerous. Mercenary says must be part of the night and day theme that Lorwyn and Shadowmoor is known for. Oh, absolutely. They have a big night and day theme, except that they don't actually literally go night and day. Wonder if they'll have black goblins. Almost certainly. I mean, Rakdos is the default for the goblins on this plane. Same thing with Merfolk. It's like blue-white. I think for elves, it's black-green. Your board is borderline ultimate Sable Stag. Yes, that's correct. We got Sable Stags for days. Now remember, those Sable Stags got the original Oko banned, okay? Oko has been on the ban list on multiple formats because of the sheer insanity of it all. Basic Fan Forever is like, read the -6. Okay. -6, choose a creature type. You get an emblem. With creatures you control of the chosen type, get +3/+3 and have vigilance and hexproof. Now, I don't know how you're going to pull that off, because that is a lot of loyalty. You'd have to like +2, -3, you go back to 2, then you got to flip it, go +2, +2, then go -6. I actually think that's just too much work. I think it's just a lot easier. -3, flip it over, +2, flip it over, -3, have 12 power on the board over 4 turns. I think that's incredibly reasonable. Now, the difference between this, creating these 3/3s and Oko in the past was, Oko in the past also interacted with the board. This one doesn't do that. So you're making your elks, but you're not turning other people's stuff into elks. So people are allowed to have like Shield Dreads and Elish Norns and Emrakuls and Ulamogs, and there's nothing you can do about it. So like, you know, let's see how the elk army does against the wrath of the Eldrazi, you know what I mean? Yeah, you could proliferate. I mean, yeah, if you're in Commander, proliferating would actually help you get to that -6, but it doesn't. It still hurts that -3 is pretty big cost. -3, that drains a lot of the loyalty. So I think it's actually well balanced in that. Well, in that way, I don't think you're gonna pull off making elves and then going -6 unless the game has been really, really slow. Or maybe you have other Oko stuff. Maybe you can make elk kindred or something. Yeah, you know, I didn't even think about that. Maybe there's an elk deck they can make. The value of elks are going to go up. You just go make an emergency emblem, quickly get to 6 loyalty, go -6, and then away you go. All the elks that were like 1/1s are just junk. We're junk, but now they're great because of Oko Shadowmoor Scion. Okay, next up, let's go the Red Scout. A card that a lot of people are asking me about. The Disruptor of Currents for Merfolk. Let's take a look. Okay, Disruptor of Currents is a 5-mana 3/3 Merfolk wizard. Flash. It's got Convoke. Oh, so my creatures can tap to pay for this stupid thing. When this creature enters, return up to 1 other target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Wow. You know what? That's so wowish. I'm going to pull up the sound effect for that. And I'll tell you, actually, dude, this is actually quite interesting because I can target my own creatures. Now, for the most part, I don't really like the idea of bouncing my opponent's permanents. It's definitely gonna matter here and there. But there's a lot of ETB. there's like so many ETB cards out there that if I bounce my opponent's like creature back to hand, they're just gonna play it back with interest. You know what I mean? So like I don't really want to bounce your Solitude. I may not even want to bounce your the Mistmoors or those under creatures. You know what I mean? The enchantments. But it is still going to matter. Would love to bounce a Murktide. Would love to bounce a giant Psychic Frog. And the fact that this has Flash is going to help. I can go like turn 1 creature, turn 2 creature, by turn 3. I already have this thing up. And it's big. It's big it's a 3/3 Merfolk. This Merfolk's been getting gains in the gym. It has a subscription to some protein powder. It's been beefing up. You can still show counterspell or no mana at all, so it can't be too bad. That's correct. I mean, I know we also have so many flash creatures in this deck, like in Merfolk now, that it actually seems very reasonable. It's very hard to play around everything. You know, we could have Flood Pit Strander, we could have a counterspell, we could have Flare of Denial, Force of Negation, could have Subtlety, could have Disruptor of Current. So I think this card's going to have a lot of potential. I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out. Now, the only downside to this card as a the downside to this card as a Merfolk player, usually my stuff dies. So against a lot of decks that are like, kill this, kill this, kill this, kill this. Well, then how do I convoke this in play? So I'm gonna have to pay full retail. I'm gonna have to pay 5 mana. All right. I don't get any discount. No sale for me. No Boxing Day. No Black Friday sale. No, I'm gonna have to pay full price for the Disruptor of Currency. Very, very often, especially against the decks that I would really care to bounce some of their creatures. Okay, so we'll move on, but it's a very, very interesting card. Madra says, did somebody already said Glenelendra answer? Oh, we got Voltland with Glenelendra's answer. Let's take a look at Glen. Okay, Glenelendra's. Does Glenelendra have the answer to everything? What does it answer? This is a 4-mana instant. The spell can't be countered. Counter all spells your opponents control and all abilities your opponents control. Create a 1/1 blue and black fairy creature token with flying for each spell and ability countered this way. I think for the most part, this is going to be a pretty clunky card. It's a 4-mana counter spell. Now the upside is, oh, are you a storm player? Oh, you want to put like 1,000,000 storm triggers on the stack? Well, those all can be countered. So I'm going to counter it with my Glenelendra's answer. And it's not even clear, actually, in that scenario that it's even going to work because a lot of storm decks, if they're going off and they can storm and kill you with, say, whether it be Brain Freeze or Grape Shot, they can probably do it again. Like, it goes to the graveyard, they'll, like, cast Past in Flames and then shoot you again. So even if you counter it the first time, it's not like it's gonna it's not like it's a way of swinging the game around in your favor. Looks like a great sideboard card. You know what? It would be great if it was free. Unfortunately, it's not free. It's 4 mana. It's a very, very 4. This doesn't feel like a mythic. You know, it's pretty mythical. I mean, if there's a big stack, it's going to be a really good commander card is where it's going to be. So someone plays card A. Someone says, I respond with card B. No, I respond with card C. I'm sorry, everybody. I got the answer for everyone. I'm going to counter all your stuff. And I'm going to get a 1/1 token out of it for each card that I countered this way. So you get like you're going to get 3 tokens, potentially more depending on like how much stuff is on the stack. Make this an enchantment? What? You want to make Erayo that's just constantly countering my opponent's stuff, or maybe the first thing? Yeah, I heard Spell Snare is back. We can look at reprints later. Last Word doesn't get played. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, but this one gives you creatures, right? Holding up 4 mana in Modern, someone would think you actually have 2 counter spells. Probably. It's not going to be a Modern card. That's for sure. This is going to be a Commander card. It's going to be a fun Commander card. You have 4 mana up all the time. And also, you know, if maybe it makes it feel good that someone plays a spell, someone plays a second spell, and you get to counter both of them. 2 spells at the same time, man. Okay, next up, let's take a look at William. Iron Shield Elf. Iron... Oh, is there a dash? There is a dash. See, I knew it! The elves, they're Golgari. There is no card like this in Standard at the moment, and in Black, with like Carnage and Mayhem from Spider-Man set is big. Oh my god, we're going to be mixing the Elf Warriors with Carnage from Spider-Man. What an amalgam of sets that we have here in our lore in Magic the Gathering. Iron Shield Elf is a 2-mana 3/1 Elf Warrior. Discard a card. This creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. I don't get it. Like, what do you want to do with this card? I don't think this is that unique. There's a lot of other there's white cards that did, I think, the same thing. I think there were white cards they had in the past where it was like 2 or 3 mana, and you had the option to discard a card to give a creature indestructible. So one way or another, like, you can keep the creature alive. I mean, it's a neat card. I don't know if they've printed a card like this aggressively at this mana cost. Certainly a good way to get rid of your crappy lands. You know what? I mean, the real value to this is if you can, like, make use out of it with Madness. So if you can force a Madness strategy with this. Oh, it's not really necessary, though. No, maybe it's slightly necessary. Not every card. There's not, like, a million cards out there that let you discard cards at will. A Psychic Frog comes to mind, but there's not that many one. Yeah, easy Madness outlet. Discard outlet, and yes, this is color shift. It's a color shifted white card. They do that, don't they? It's like whatever black has, they give to white. Whatever white has, they give to black. They're like, you know, it's the yin-yang sort of part of Magic the Gathering. So ever since Black Knight versus White Knight, pro-black, pro-white. They have more in common than they would think. These indestructible and tap creature abilities is what replaced Regenerate. I didn't realize, did they really phase out Regenerate? Is it gone? Is it, like, gone for forever? Using Grease Fang. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that can go in Grease Fang. I don't know where Grease Fang stands right now in Pioneer. Unfortunately, a very vulnerable type of combo. But maybe this can help in a little bit. Also helps just a beatdown strategy if the combo doesn't go off. It's a worse Regenerate. Not real, maybe. It's just indestructible. What's the difference? Yeah, maybe. I didn't think about that. Yeah, like giving something indestructible until end of turn. It's more intuitive. It's way more intuitive. No, Regenerate was on Wolverine, the best there is last year. Well, no, but I mean, they can bring some mechanics back at will for those, like, sideshow sets, but maybe not in standard. They've printed Storm cards, but they haven't put any. I should say they've rarely put Storm cards in standard. I regenerated a creature in pre-modern yesterday, and we had to look up how it worked. It's still getting people. Even in 2026, we're still getting people with Regenerate. You never know. Okay, let's take a look at another card. We have Archangel. New with Curious Colossus. Does it draw a card upon dealing damage? Because that's what I associate with Curious in this game. Curious Colossus is a 7-mana, 7/7 giant warrior. It'd be big. Ha! Those hobbit-looking Kithkin creatures, they are ants to me. When this creature enters, each creature target opponent controls loses all abilities, becomes a coward in addition to its other types, and has base power and toughness 1/1. Oh, it's not until end of turn. So it's Humility. They brought Humility back. It's Humility on a 7-mana, 7/7 creature. Look at that. If anyone had trouble buying their own Humility because it's on the reserve list, all right, it's on the reserve list. It costs some mana. Sorry, it costs some money. They reprinted Humility for you. And it's only target opponent, so it's a one-sided Humility. That is sick powerful. Unfortunately, it's 7 mana though. That's the only downside to this. Are cowards innately unable to block warriors, or is that something that has to be stated on the card? I don't know. I think that has to be stated on the card, but I don't remember. Yeah, I hope it's not something like a wall where all walls had defender or something, but I think it has to be stated on the card. This card is better than Humility in EDH, and it can strike back. I know, they're like, what is this analogous to? They're making these one-sided cards. It's like that Elish Norn where, oh, all my cards can double my ETBs, but all of your cards don't ETB anymore, you know? So it's like all the upside is on my side, all the downside is on your side. All cowards can't attack? What can cowards do in MTG? What's up with cowards? Cowards are people who lack courage in facing danger and difficulty. Cowards don't inherently have other abilities. They're defined by this interaction, making them vulnerable to warrior. Oh, okay. So I think if they're up against warriors, they get scared. They're scared. And this is a warrior, by the way. It's a big warrior. Oh, yeah, so actually that's important. And the cowards can't block warriors. I mean, I don't blame them. I mean, I wouldn't block this guy either. Are you gonna be blocking this giant warrior? No, I don't think so. Appropriately said, asymmetry truly became R&D's parody line back in the first Lorwyn. Oh wow, really? So that's where it all started. And then it got just grossly out of control around War of the Spark. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's good for ending games, but it's really ugly in competitive Magic. Like, it's so unfun when you have this one effect and your opponent just getting just absolutely hosed by the damn thing. It's awful. I like this card, but it's a lot of mana. You're going to have to work on it. That's a skill issue. It also could be a card issue, but it could be a skill issue. Is he the shrine? It's possible. It's possible. Toads, you better not go anywhere. I got your letter. All right, I've been waiting for you in like so many streams to show up. I better remember at the end. Okay, let's take a look at another card. Mega Mika with Sig. Wanderwine. Wisdom. How wise this Sig truly is. Makes me want to play Merfolk soon. I hope it's good. It's very interesting. It's a blue one generic 2/2 Merfolk wizard. Can't block. When this creature enters or transforms into Sig Wanderwine Wisdom, target creature gains. When this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, draw a card until end of turn. So if this flips, but if you flip it back, then you can, or when it just enters the battlefield, target creature has like basically a curiosity effect for 1 turn. At the beginning of your at the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay a white to transform our Sig into, oh, where is it? Where's the others? Well, here's the backside. Into Sig Wanderbrine Shield. This is a 2/2 legendary Merfolk Rogue. Sig can't be blocked. Which is good. I mean, both sides have this effect. I think it's fine that we have a 2-mana 2/2 that is unblockable. Whenever this creature transforms into Sig Wanderwine Shield, target creature you control gains protection from each color until your next turn. So it is almost like a true name Nemesis. It's not going to be able to be... you can't touch this from your opponent. Or opponents, actually. Unless it's colorless. So Eldrazi's. Okay, well... I guess, what's it called? Kozilek's Command. I still hate that card. Still gonna get wrecked by Kozilek's Command. Yeah, can't stop colorless. At the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay a blue to retransform it. I think this card, I think it's gonna be too weak for Modern. I think it's going to give a really nice boost, or has a lot of playability, to Pioneer, where it's hard to have unblockable creatures, and also Standard, where it's also, again, hard to get unblockable creatures. And if you have this, plus maybe a Lord, you can, like, squeeze in a lot of damage. So in the formats where, you know, there's not a lot of blockable stuff, because, like, it doesn't really have any really good ETB. A lot of things have to go right. You need other creatures on the board. If they're not there, then this is just, like, 2-mana 2/2 for an unblockable creature that doesn't do anything else. Okay, we're going to take a look at way more of these wonderful Lorwyn cards. The Lorwyn spoilers, but we got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com. In fact, you know where you can buy these cards. You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. Please, pre-order, just like you pre-ordered Final Fantasy or like Edge of Eternity's Spider-Man and or Avatar. Don't forget, deal of the week this week, 15% off all sleeves. And not to mention, you want to save some money when you're pre-ordering your Lorwyn cards, don't you? So please use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. You don't know what deck you want yet, all right? Lorwyn comes out, there could be a million different strategies. You can try all of them on Magic Online when you're renting with Mana Traders. If the strategy doesn't work, rent other cards to make it work. You can play test to your heart's content. You can also support the channel renting using my coupon code Nikachu_58V for 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription. Okay, let's get back to crazy And also beautiful. Lorwyn Eclipsed spoilers. Very optimistic about this set. The Big Squig says, my favorite Lorwyn Eclipsed thing is the musical Muppet show we got today. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're going to look at the card. We're going to look at the card at the end of the show. I want... Who has... Okay, let's go kin binding. Is that a card? Is that real? It is real. Kin binding. Kin binding is a 5-mana enchantment. Creatures you control get +X/+X, where X is the number of creatures that enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Ooh, that almost combos with that blink card that we saw earlier, which put another creature into play when it blinked the creature. Not to mention, I think there's gonna be a lot of cards that sort of multiply themselves. It's just the nature of Kindred at the same time. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a 1/1 green and white Kithkin creature token. Oh, this Kithkins. Well, that's weird. So we need to somehow make Kithkins any creature type. It's called kin binding, but it's not like it doesn't make changelings. It should make changelings, right? It specifically made the weakest creature type of all the creature types. The absolute worst. Kinship is back. Oh, you missed it, Soul of Samhain. There was a sick goblin that made that was uncounterable and made all your cards uncounterable. So anyway, kin binding. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like I guess it's the new coat of arms in a really weird way. Let's get to Hexanorts and Vex. Is it Morn Song's Aria? What if I just look up Aria? It worked. 3 mana for a legendary enchantment. Players can't draw cards or gain life. That is very concerning to me. Oh, is this just a Marilyn of the Morn song? At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player loses 3 life, searches their library for a card, puts it into their hand, then shuffles. Interesting. I wonder... That is very, very interesting. This card has a lot of potential. There is a just miles difference between an effect like Marilyn of the Morn song, which is a creature, which can die to anything. Lightning Bolt, Solitude, Path to Exile, Fire, Fury. What else what else kills it? There's a million removal spells. Lava Dart, Flashback, Lava Dart. But you can't kill the Morn Song Aria. This thing is definitely going to... I think this could see play. If you can't draw, why are we shuffling? If it gets destroyed, that's why. Okay, you know what? You sort of got me for a second. We're shuffling because if we don't want to stack our deck and then destroy the Morn... I'll tell you what you would do. Goes to Thomas Jenkins. You would search for a artifact you'd search for enchantment removal, then stack your deck however you want to put all the perfect cards on top, destroy the Morn Song Aria, and then go back to your draw step. So we definitely need to shuffle afterwards. Fairies are so elegant. They have like some of the best art, if not the best art. I'm a huge fan of actually all the fairy art. Very sadly, a lot of fairy cards, they just suck. The art is like top tier, and like what the card does is like really bottom tier. It's a real shame for the fairies. I really feel for the fairies. I've tried to build fairy decks a few times. I really feel for those fairy players. I can smell the fragrant artwork. It smells great. It smells like lavender. Or cards that reveal the top. Yeah. So I can't remember. So anyway, this has some combo potential because this is not so easy to remove like Marilyn of the Morn song. So maybe players outside of Commander will try to make something of this work where the opponent can't search their deck, but you can, and they're just basically locked out of the game. Could potentially be an incredibly unfun card. Now I'm thinking, why did they even print this? What was the point, Wizards? This is only going to make people miserable. I mean, maybe not. I mean, if you play this first before you play the second combo card, your opponent does get the option, or usually will get the option, to search their library for a card that maybe can even answer this thing. Interesting. Very, very, very double-edged, interesting choice with our Wizards. We'll see what happens there. Raznab, did we look at Mirror Mind Crown? Nope, we've barely looked at any cards. Is it Oko's Crown? It's a 4-mana equipment artifact. I don't know how to describe this art. The face looks completely flat. It looks like some sort of... it's like an ancient painting or something. I don't know how to describe it. As long as... It's like some sort of weird medieval painting where, I don't know, the imagery looked really squashed. As long as this equipment is attached to a creature, the first time you would create one or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of equipped creature. Interesting. So if you make a token, we're going to make something of this card. Oh, it's the Mirror Mind. We're making like a reflection of the creature that this thing's equipped to. It's a Dan Fraser art. He's obviously going for a very specific style. Okay, what's the flavor text, Toads? Forged in Velisvel, swiped by a clever marrow, and sold to a curious Kithkin. Swiped by a clever marrow. Sounds like a Lord of the Rings story to me. Mirror form? Isn't that just a card that already exists? Moonlit Meditation had the same effect for 3 mana. This one cost 6. But was that an equipment? See, this is permanently on the battlefield. You can keep equipping this thing to other creatures. You can even swap it, you know? Okay, so I want an extra one of these creatures this turn. Okay, doing what for 2 mana? I'm going to switch it to this creature. I want an extra one of those creatures this turn. And it sort of combos with that Kithkin card, right? The card that made a Kithkin every single combat. So there is... And I've seen a bit of the spoilers. There's a lot of token generators out there. So making tokens are actually quite easy. I think this could potentially be a huge all-star in Commander. Definitely not going to see competitive play. Who doesn't like to make copies of certain creatures? Did we do the red thing that makes me want to quit Magic? I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. Unless you're talking about that red goblin and you're a counterspell player. That's the only way I could understand. Oh, Moonlit Meditation is an aura? Oh yeah, completely different. Because if you kill the creature, it's dead. And so is the aura. Here, the equipment stays. The equipment isn't going anywhere. Argentina with Silvergill Mentor. I did see this card. Well, okay. I'm not going to say this card is a banger, but I really like this card. It's a 2-mana, 2/1 Merfolk Wizard. As an additional cost to cast this spell, behold a Merfolk or pay 2. So I have to reveal. I believe I have to reveal a Merfolk from my hand. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white and blue Merfolk creature token. I think this is awesome. I've actually been waiting like an eternity for, effectively. I can't remember the elf that did this. It was like a 2-mana. 1/1, and when it entered the battlefield, it made a 1/1. And I always thought, like, I need that for Merfolk. I need that so badly. I need to be able to exhaust the removal from my opponent's hand. Behold a Merfolk on the battlefield even. Oh, I just have to show a Merfolk on the battlefield? That totally works with me. Or I can just vial it in play. I don't have to behold anything. So... this card potentially can make Flare of Denial a little bit stronger, although you can't sacrifice the 1 token. You can sacrifice the Silvergill Mentor. Finally, I have enough creatures to block a Ragavan. All right, but Ragavan, I don't care how much removal you have. I don't care if you have Flage. I don't care if you have Lightning Bolt. Whatever the hell red removal spell you have, I'm going to block your Ragavan because you have to kill both things. I really wish the 1/1 had hexproof. I wish... Well, I guess I can't get everything. Now, some benefits to this card. The Lords get better because now I'm lording for more stuff. Hex Catcher gets a lot better. Hex Catcher is the 1/1 flash Merfolk Lord that you can sack a Merfolk to counter a spell. I think Silvergill Mentor and Hex Catcher are basically made for each other. I really like this card, and I cannot wait to play test it. This is the very first card I'm definitely going to be play testing in my Merfolk deck. Antonio's like, imagine a mirror form on a Nova Hellkite of the opponent, for example. It has insta-lethal potential. It does. It looks good until you compare it to a Johnny. Yeah, I know. A Johnny is just so much better. It's, you know, you ruined it for me, Rab. You basically ruined it for me. Yeah, I just totally forgot. This is like really good for Merfolk, but for the cat decks with a Johnny, it's even better. Yeah, their Johnny is just still above and beyond better than my poor, stupid Silvergill Mentor. Silvergill Mentor, why can't you flip into a Planeswalker? What's wrong with you? You should be able to flip into a Planeswalker. Okay, let's take a look at another card. We got Felicia with Meek Attack. Is it like Sneak Attack but smaller stuff? Please let it have that sort of synergy. So 3-mana enchantment, pay 2. You may put a creature card with total power and toughness 5 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. The creature gains haste. At the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice that creature. I think it's bad. It's probably a bad card. I think that's too expensive. It probably should have been 2 mana to put a creature in play for 2 mana. Sneak Attack is like so much cheaper than this. It's 4 mana, but then you pay 1 mana after that. I think this is really expensive. Well, what does this get around, actually? Okay, so maybe there is some big potential. So the idea is if you can cheat a card that's super expensive, but the power and toughness tiny, the very, very, very tiny, you know, it's basically big muscular guy, small d, very, very small d. What can we abuse out of this? Isn't Meek good with ETB and death triggers? Only if it's like, okay, yeah, it's true. So what's it gonna be? I'd Meek in a Thragtusk? You can't do that. Remember, it's with total power and toughness 5. So we're talking it can be a 4/1, it can be a 4/1, it can be a 3/2, it can be a 1/4, it can be a 0/5. But the total power and toughness can't be larger than that. Thragtusk is a 5/3. So I don't know. Oh, Agent of Treachery is a good one. Okay, that's a really good answer. That's like a 7 mana 2/2, I believe, or 2/3. You could do Unstoppable Slasher with this. Ooh, maybe. Well, I think that's a lot of work. Why don't I just cast my Unstoppable Slasher? Unstoppable Slasher is not that expensive, right? Muxus Sneak Attack. Isn't Muxus big? You can't do most creatures. Remember, you can put a creature card with total power and toughness 5 or less from your hand onto the battlefield. That's very limited. I can't remember how big Muxus is. I think, yeah, it's power and toughness. I think that's what's catching people off guard, is the little power and toughness. So it ends up being only like pretty tiny creatures. But I mean, like a really good example of a card that you could swipe into play would be the Agent of Treachery. That's a prime example where the casting cost is pretty high, but the power and toughness is really small, and the effect is really powerful because you steal people's creatures. Yeah, 2/3 is fine. So 2/3, 1/4, 0/5, 3/2, 4/1, 5/0. I don't know how many 5/0 cards are in this game. Well, putting an Elvish Piper in play doesn't seem like the greatest value. Well, I guess that's the idea. People have to figure out, because it's got to have a really good ETB, right? You can activate at instant speed, so that's kind of cool. Well, but it might not be as useful if you activate it at instant speed. I mean, you can do it at the end of somebody's turn, but it's really clunky. It's a lot of mana. Spend 3 mana on this enchantment. You will do nothing that turn. You will then spend another 2 mana on a following turn. You get a one-shot shabam with your card. Can't exactly put... They very specifically said it's got to be a small creature. No Grizzlebrand for you. 6. No, that's too hot. It's too big. Too big. Too big for your 6/7. And you're calling it attack despite the fact you are casting walls. Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, you could put a wall in there. It's possible. Okay, well, we'll see what people do with this card. It has some potential, but I actually think it's really clunky. Do you know what this type of card is? It may not be good up front on day one, but as time goes on, the card will get better and better as they print cards that can get broken by this thing. So we'll see. Who has not got a spoiler yet? Lestian with Aurora Awakener. I think a few people asked for Aurora Awakener. You got to see this other art for this thing, though. It's like spaghetti's coming out of its chest. Okay, we have Aurora Awakener, a 7-mana 7/7 giant druid. They're bringing giants back. Trample. It's got Vivid. When this creature enters, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X permanent cards, where X is the number of colors among permanents you control. Okay, so if you have like 5 permanents, you get 5 colors of permanents, you get 5 cards. Put any number of those permanent cards onto the battlefield, then put the rest of the revealed cards on the bottom of your library in a random order. But we do have to reveal X permanent cards. So we're definitely gonna get X. Like we're gonna get some good stuff. Yeah, why can't I hold all this spaghetti? Yeah, why can't I hold all those auras? We have Antonio says, I'll definitely try Alendra's answer against all the mono green landfall decks in Arena. Did you check the Chronicle of Victor is only good for EDH travel deck? We'll check that one next. I don't really have any specific what's it called thoughts about the Aurora Awakener. It's just value. You know, it's a green card. It does green things. It's a Wooburg card. ETB just get a bunch of stuff. It's in some sense it feels like win more to me because you need a lot of colors on the battlefield to enable this. So that means you might already be ahead on the board. That's not necessarily true in Commander, like where someone might be even more ahead on the board, so you need to catch up. But if you have nothing on the board, you're gonna get 1 card, which maybe is okay. Maybe it's like I mean maybe I should be looking at this like Super Cascade. So when it enters the battlefield, if this is the only card on the battlefield, you cascade into your first permanent spell. Oh, but it can be lands. Among permanents, you put any number, so reveal X permanent cards. But lands aren't going to do anything for us. Well, I have no idea where this is going to go, but hopefully, best of luck to anyone who plays Aurora Awakener. Next, let's take a look at Funwei with Chronicle of Victor. Sorry, Chronicle of Victory. I thought you were talking about somebody. So this is a 6-mana legendary artifact. As Chronicle of Victory enters, choose a creature type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +2/+2 and have First Strike and Trample. Well, thank God. And whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, draw a card. This card is insane. This card is really, really strong. It probably is only relegated to Commander, though. It's very expensive. It's very, very strong, though. +2/+2, First Strike, Trample, and when you cast your cards, you get more cards. That's just pure value. Yeah, it's better banner. They're gonna keep making more and more better banners. Kinship is back. Yep, Kinship is back. The art reminds me of late night Adult Swim. I didn't really get that vibe, but I know what you're talking about. Would you play it in Merfolk? The answer is no. I would not play it in Merfolk. Too expensive. Would I play it in my Funsy Commander Merfolk deck? Yes, I could do that. Any sort of banner effect is totally fine and fair game in Standard. Okay, next up, we got Toads with this super chat. Meek attack in Time Stream Navigator. Extra turns cause haste good. Is that like a new card that came out? Time Stream. Okay, I think you're talking about. Okay, hold on. Time Stream Navigator. Oh, you want to bring in this card? Was that even worth it? It's 2 mana. Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the city's blessing for the rest of the game. And for format, this doesn't even have an ETB. I don't know if I would. I don't think I would Meek attack in this card. Oh, you want the haste. So if you immediately have haste, you have pay 4, tap, puts Time Stream Navigator on the bottom of its owner's library. Take an extra turn after this one. Activate only if you have the city's blessing. That's like 6 mana, Toads. You know what we could do? We could just play like actual Time Warp or something. Yeah, I get it. It has haste, but it's still a lot. It was still a lot of mana for a. I guess we made an artificial. What's it called? An artificial. Nexus of Fate. Okay, next up. Hexenord, Vibrance. Vibrance. Where am I going? What am I doing here? Vibrance is a 5 mana 4/4 elemental incarnation. Sort of looks like a dog. When this creature enters, if red was spent to cast it, this creature deals 3 damage to any target. So it's basically like a Flame Tongue Kavu. When this creature enters, if green was spent to cast it, search your library for a land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You gain 2 life. Who doesn't like 2 life? Oh my, Evoke! They brought Evoke back again. At least you have to pay mana for this Evoke, unlike prior Evoke cards. So, ugh, this is frustrating. Okay, but they do have to pay some more manas for this, so you can't just so easily. Well, maybe they can go easily. Just go red, hold up a white for Ephemerate. Ephemerating this is going to be so frustrating. Very, very strong. I think of my previous submission for Fixed Fury. This is basically a Fixed Fury. Oh, sorry. This guy doesn't look like a dog. I'm looking at the other one. The other card looks much more dog-like. Funny enough. Can I adjust this? There we go. The original card more. This looks more like a whale, to be honest. Looks like a whale. Like what's it called? A blue? Is it blue? No, sperm whale? Is that what it is? I think. Ephemerate doesn't work on this. Thank God. If this creature enters, if green was spent to. Oh, that's right. They fixed the thing. Hallelujah. It's probably how all the evoke elementals should have acted in the first place. Like they actually could have worded it like, okay, you play Solitude by pitching a white card in your hand. If you pitched a card from your hand, it enters the battlefield, you get this effect. Actually, I never would have thought about that. Oh, is it a beluga? Oh, beluga whale is what I was thinking of. I think it's a beluga whale. The hippo whale. It's a lot of different whales. Yeah, Evoke was brand new over a decade. Oh, way over a decade ago. What, like decade and a half at this point? Maybe more than that. I was there at like 2010, 2011. There was Eldrazi's, but there weren't any Lorwyn, that's for sure. Okay, so interesting. Okay, it's gonna be a fair card. If so fair, it might not see play. Sadly enough, it may be too fair. Okay, who has not got a card yet so far? We have Antonio says, did you check Dawn Blessed Pennant? No, I don't know what this is. Check Dawn Blessed. Or maybe, was it spoiled? Oh no, here it is. Oh, okay, it wanted the dash. Hold on, give me a second here. Ah! Where's... Slight problems. Hold on, let me fix my... This is not my usual website that I review cards on, so it's a little janky. All right, here we go. We got the Dawn Blessed Pennant for 1 mana. It's an artifact. As this artifact enters, choose Elemental, Elf, Fairy, Giant, Goblin, Kithkin, Merfolk, or Treefolk. Whenever a permanent you control of the chosen type enters, we gain a life. For 2 mana, tap, sack this artifact, return target card of the chosen type from your graveyard to your hand. I don't think that insurance is good enough for me. Maybe, though. Maybe it's possible. It's an interesting card. You know, but you know what? I'm never fond of the type of cards where I need to be behind for it to be good. I like cards where when I'm behind, it's good, and also when I'm even, it's good, and if I'm ahead, it's good. This is a type of card that's sort of like, if I'm behind, this is where it shines. I don't really want it. I don't want it to be there when I'm behind. I don't mind if it was a little defensive, like maybe sacrifice and give a Merfolk hexproof or something, or give one of the creatures hexproof, but a little too expensive. Okay, next up we've got. I don't think Steve Cooper got a card yet. We want Eardew. Eardew, Carrier of Dawn. Hold on, Ear. I just found out I can click on the cards. Eardew, Carrier of Dawn is a 5 mana 5/5 elemental god, flying lifelink. Creature spells you cast have convoke. All of them? All of them? It's a 5/5 creature. At the beginning of your first main phase, you can pay a black. If you do, transform Eardew. Oh, so this is like the elemental version of that Merfolk card we saw earlier. And it turns into Isilu, a Carrier of Twilight, a 5/5 elemental god, flying and lifelink. Each other non-token creature you control has persist. At the beginning of your first main phase, you may pay a white. If you do, transform Isilu. Did the name change? So we turn from Eardew to Isilu. Each other non-token creature control has persist. So so when they die, they come back with -1/-1 counters, which makes it very hard for them to die, period. We're already there, Toads. We're here. We found it. It was there the entire time. Ellis is like, I want this. Persist is back. Persist, I believe, was it Persist? Persist came from that sort of block, right? I remember Persist coming from Kitchen Finks. Kitchen Finks being from, I think, Shadowmoor. It was a very Shadowmoorish card. Whose kitchen was it raiding? I'm not entirely sure. Raiding somebody's kitchen. Goes infinite with Flage and Solemnity. If you give other things persist, it will go infinite with like an infinite number of combinations. Persist is like one of the single most common way of comboing off in Magic. All right, with that, let's take a look. We got a super chat from Mega Mika. Will Mutable Explorer do good? Oh, I think I know what this card is. The mutable creature. Mutable Explorer. This card will be it's probably bad. It's a 3 mana 1/1 shapeshifter. It's a changeling, so it's every creature type. When it enters the battlefield, create a tapped Mutavault token. Now, if you don't know what a Mutavault token is, it's just a land. Mutavault's a land. You pay 1, it becomes a 2/2 creature, and it's every creature type. So it's a changeling that basically created a changeling land. My problem with Mutable Explorer, this is probably going to be a really popular card. A lot of people will play it. My big problem, though, competitively, is it's 3 mana for a 1/1. And like, yeah, you make a Mutavault token. Fortunately, the Mutavault token... No, wait, sorry. Unfortunately, it comes into play tapped, so I can't even make any sort of use out of this token. I have to wait till next turn. I think we're taking, like... way too big of a turn off for this card. Way too big. Maybe there's a world in Pioneer where this is playable when you're playing it with Collected Company, but even when I'm playing Collected Company, I want to put a bunch of power on the battlefield. This is just a bunch of, it's a little too dirtily for me. I like the value, but too dirtily. They made a land with a Nikachu on it. Yeah, it looks just like me. My little lantern. Can you cast another Iruda while it's Isilu? I don't know. I think the answer is yes, though. Don't take my word for it, but I'm pretty sure it's yes. You can play the front side while the back side is up. Okay, Toads wants emptiness. That sounds depressing. Okay, emptiness is a 6 mana 3/5 elemental incarnation. When the creature enters, if white was spent to cast it, return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. When this creature enters, if black was spent to cast it, put 3 -1/-1 counters on up to 1 target creature. So basically, like also killing something off at the same time. I'm really actually surprised that this costs 6 mana. Whereas the last one, I think the elemental was 4. And it also dealt 3 damage, so it was basically it was still a removal spell. Like it's a 3/5, I guess, but it's not that. The other one was a 4/4. I think this thing costs way too much mana, infinitely too much mana. More like a land with an extra. Yeah, I guess so. It's a land. Well, land that cost me 3 mana. This would be great as a 3/3. I don't know why it gets better. It has evoke. Yeah, it does have evoke. It has evoke for 2 mana, but my point being, what if I don't want to evoke it? Because the thing is, if you evoke it, you have to sacrifice it. So that last elemental that we saw that was Gruul, I think it was 4 mana, or no, maybe it was 5 mana, but it was like a lot more affordable. And I think 4/4 is pretty good and pretty chunky. Okay, we are gonna end it here, but we're definitely going to be back because there's a lot more spoilers to be done. But before I end the show, I have to thank our good friend Toads in chat for a wonderful happy holidays going into 2026. Toads says, sending you the warmest of wishes at this special time of the year. Merry Christmas, bro. Your biggest fan and friend, Jim Toads. Thank you so much, Toads. I really appreciate it. And also in 2026, it's going to be the year of Kindred, I'm telling you. What's your favorite card from Lorwyn Eclipsed? Let me all know in the comments section below. As usual, if you want to be part of these shows. If you want to see more spoilers, we'll be back tomorrow. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you super chat to be part of the show, or even super chat so other people are part of the show. And thank you so much, my crew, for being here today. People like Steve Cooper, the Big Swig. We got Argentina, Toads again, Bob Talks Bridge, Hexanort, Christopher B. William, Dadam Draws, Turg. We got Turg McGurg. We got Jess, Mercenary, Toads again, and Hexanort, and many more. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic, especially since Lorwyn is bringing the magic back. And I'll see you at the next cup.